Hey everyone, it's Monday morning, August 18th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sella. Since it's Monday, that means it's time to dive into the big market movers for the week ahead. It's going to be a busy one, so let's get straight to it. Before we begin, a quick note. Today's episode is sponsored by AMF Capital Asset Management Frankfurt. For tailored investment solutions and top-quality mutual funds, visit amf-capital.de. So let's start with the headline. Jerome Powell is front and center. On Friday, the Federal Reserve Chair is set to speak at the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium, that annual gathering out in Wyoming where central bankers, economists, and global policymakers all meet. And, well, markets will be hanging on every single word he says. Investors want to know whether Powell is preparing to lean toward cutting rates at the September meeting or whether he'll stay cautious for longer. The tricky thing for the Fed is that inflation has been ticking higher recently, while at the same time the job market seems weaker than it looked just a few months ago. That combination makes policy decisions really complicated. And it's not just the speech on Friday. We'll also get the minutes from the Fed's July meeting, which could give us more detail on the debate within the committee. Remember, 2 members actually voted for a rate cut last month, so traders will be watching to see how divided the Fed really is. Now, alongside the Fed drama, we've got a big wave of earnings coming in, especially from the retail sector. Walmart, Home Depot, Target, and Lowe's are all reporting this week. These numbers matter because they give us a snapshot of consumer health. Are shoppers still spending confidently, or are tariffs and higher prices starting to weigh on their wallets? Walmart has hinted it might raise prices to offset import costs, while Target has warned before about potential weakness in sales. Ross Stores is also on the calendar. So we'll get to see how discount retailers are performing compared to the giants. On the economic data front, it's going to be busy too. Housing market numbers are due, which will show how rising borrowing costs are impacting demand. We'll also get the weekly jobless claims, an important signal for the labor market. And together with the earnings and Fed updates, all of this paints a fuller picture of how strong, or how fragile, the U.S. economy really looks as we move into late summer. And just a quick reminder, last week ended on a high note. The Dow touched an intraday record on Friday, while other major indexes also closed higher. But whether that momentum can last is going to depend a lot on what Powell says, how retailers report, and what the data tells us in the next few days. That's it for today's Capital Markets Quickie. I'll be back tomorrow morning with a brand new episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast, and share it with your network. Thanks for tuning in.